Welcome to the Sound Creator Podcast, where I explore the fascinating world of sound design and sound effects. I'm your host, Cedric Black, and in each episode, I dive deep into the art of creating unique audio experiences. Join me as I share my personal journey in sound design, from crafting realistic sound effects to building captivating soundscapes. On this show, I will dive into this unique art of sound that brings movies, games, and media to life. Welcome to the show. Hello, everyone. Thank you for showing up and checking out the newest episode of the Sound Creator Podcast. Once again, I'm happy to be able to bring you another episode of the things that go on in my world and my journey of sound design and creating sound effects. And I've noticed that there's something that doesn't really get discussed a lot with this industry or with this with this profession, and especially for those of us that create sounds outside of the house. We never really hear much about the impact of the weather and how it affects things, that everything that we do and how it affects our work in a way. Because where I live, right now it's summertime, and this is the sort of the beginning of summer, the official beginning of summer, and it's super hot. It gets hotter maybe by around August. We usually average triple-digit weather, but right now I think that we're really close to hitting that right now. So it's probably going to be a scorching summer. It usually is where I live. That's the weather that we have. Really unpredictable weather. The news channels try to predict it as best as possible, but they get close sometimes. Sometimes it's hit or miss, but those of us that live here, I've been living here my entire life, mostly, and if it's wintertime, we have that critical maybe 1 week of really bad weather, whether it's snow or the combination of snow and ice that keeps us locked in our homes. And summertime, we don't really get locked in our homes, but it's that dangerous heat. It's that the heat that causes heat strokes. So we're close to that now, but it's really hot. And so the way that it impacts us, especially me, because a lot of times, if you see my videos, there are things that I do. I bring sounds and I bring objects that I use to create videos with, or to create my sounds, some of my sounds, and you see them in my studio. But a lot of sounds are captured outside in the world, and if it's hot like it is now, if you see any video of a sound designer, you see them usually walking around with their microphones, with their gear, backpacks. They're trekking through the woods, the mountains, or creek areas, caves, different areas where they capture sounds. But it's always outside and they're always walking. So walking out in the heat really does impact you, because number one, not really the sweat, but just the danger of the hot weather. And so we have to make sure that we stay hydrated. I know that I do have to make sure that I stay hydrated, and I have to map out a plan for where I'm going to go. Most of the time, I will, if I know ahead of time where I'm going, I'll go by and check out the location just to see what I can use. I try to minimize my time as best I can out in the hot weather. So I'll go ahead of time to assess the situation, look at the environment, see what's there. If I know what I'm going to record, what I'm going to capture, it helps me be better prepared. So when I do go back the next day or the day after, I can pretty much be in and out. I do like to spend time capturing things because we can't just press a button and record and then we're done. There's a lot because most of the time, just for example, my specialty is not really nature, recording nature and creating sounds from nature, but I've done it. But just for an example, this is just an example. If I am walking around in the woods, I have to make sure that I know exactly where I'm going. I have to get there a day before, or maybe 2 days, and especially in the morning. I think the morning is the key, because if I'm capturing the nature, and it's usually birds or whatever else is making noise. If I'm capturing those things, that sound pattern I'm capturing, I have to go early in the morning. And where I live, one of the biggest problems that we face is the noise, and not really the nature noise, but traffic. We have woods around the parks that are here, but also traffic is always so nearby. And so I have to go as early as I can to try to beat some of the traffic. And usually if you're recording nature, that's usually the best time to go, because that's when the birds are singing, birds are chirping, because like they say, the early bird gets the worm, and the birds are always early. So if we want to get the birds, then we have to be early as well. So I think that going early and assessing the situation helps me to be better prepared. Now, if I'm recording, and this is something that I have coming up really soon, is underwater recordings. And the same thing applies for capturing underwater soundscapes, but not as much, because I don't have that threat of traffic that's around. I can probably go any time of the day to do that, because I'm just dropping my microphones in the water, and I still have to go ahead of time to check out the situation, check out the environment that I'm going to be recording in, because I never know what to expect. It'd be nice to know what to expect. So a lot of times that I am out and I think that everything's going to be perfect, and then something else comes up that throws that off. So I have to be mindful of my recording situation. So that's coming up really quick, because I've been planning to record underwater soundscapes for a while now. I just haven't really had the opportunity to do that, but that's about to change. I'm about to do that. I won't bring my cameras out with me for that, but I will set up a makeshift underwater recording in the studio so that I can share it on my Instagram. So those of you that may not even have an understanding of how that's done, or have never seen a hydrophone and how that works, I'll show that in my video and on my Instagram. So I will create a makeshift underwater environment that I can use, that I can capture. I'll probably just use a big pitcher of water and some microphones. But it is interesting, and the sound is interesting. I don't think that it will make you say, "Oh wow," just hearing it, but seeing the process and understanding what's going on could really strike up an interest in you some way. Because I like it. It's a unique way to record. It's a unique way to capture sounds, and I'm really grateful and thankful for the people that make these type of microphones and make it happen and make it possible for people like myself to capture those sound sources. So stick around, stay tuned, and be looking for that video to come up real soon. That's it for today. Thank you for showing up. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. If you found value in what you've heard, I kindly ask you to spread the word about the Sound Creator Podcast. Share it with your friends, colleagues, and anyone who shares your fascination for the power of sound. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your preferred platform so you never miss an episode. You can also stay connected with me through my main website at cedricblack.com or at cedblack on Instagram. Thank you once again for being part of this incredible journey. I look forward to bringing you more captivating episodes in the future. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and let the light be your guide.